The boardroom felt like an icebox that morning. My father sat at the head of the long mahogany table, his silver cufflinks glinting beneath the cold fluorescent light. I'd memorized that scene countless times before. The shuffle of papers, the low hum of the AC, the faint tap-tap of his pen. But that morning something inside me cracked. "Dad," I said, keeping my voice steady even as my pulse thrummed in my throat. "It's been 3 years since I asked for that raise. You said we'd review it once I proved myself. I've doubled revenue, landed the Shell contract, managed your entire board through the merger. What else do you need me to prove?" He didn't look up. "You've done well, Maya," he said, his tone even rehearsed. "But you're not ready for that kind of compensation. You still lack strategic maturity." I laughed too sharply. "Strategic maturity? I've been running your company while you play golf with investors." His head lifted then, slowly. His eyes were hard, glacial. "Watch your tone." The silence that followed was unbearable. The kind that makes you feel like you've said something irreversible. Then the glass door opened, and my younger brother Ethan sauntered in, late as always, phone in hand, sunglasses still on. "Hey, sorry traffic," he muttered, sliding into a chair like the meeting was a formality. Dad's expression softened instantly. "Good timing, son. We were just discussing the new project division. I'm putting you in charge." My breath caught. "What?" I whispered. Ethan grinned, brushing his perfect hair aside. "You serious, Dad? I thought Maya was handling that." "She was," Dad said simply. "Now it's time for you to step up." My fingers went numb. My chest hollowed out. I looked between them, the man who taught me to never expect handouts, and the brother who'd failed every project he'd touched. Ethan's smug little smile told me everything I needed to know. He already knew. That moment I realized. The betrayal had been planned long before I walked in. That night, I sat in my office long after everyone left. The city lights shimmered beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows, reflections fractured across the glass like broken promises. My reflection looked small, tired, disposable. My phone buzzed. A message from Ethan. "Don't take it personally. Dad just thinks I have better leadership instincts. You're good at the grunt work, though. Proud of you, sis." I read it 3 times, my hand trembling with a cocktail of anger and disbelief. My own brother, someone I'd trained, defended, covered for, had taken my work and turned it into his victory speech. It wasn't just the raise. It was everything. 3 years of 12-hour days. Sacrificed relationships. Sleepless nights. And my father still saw me as the assistant. The helper. The daughter who could be trusted to clean up, but not to lead. I wanted to storm into his house and scream at him. But instead I sat there quietly, letting the truth settle like poison. My father didn't believe in me. Maybe he never had. A week later, the betrayal deepened. I found out purely by accident. I was going through the project files to prepare a presentation when I opened the shared folder for the Eclipse Initiative, the new division Ethan was supposedly heading. My name was gone from every document. Every file I'd written, every projection I'd built, every pitch I'd crafted, replaced by Ethan's. His initials in the metadata. His signature on the front page. My 3 years of work, rewritten like I never existed. I scrolled faster, panic rising. Even my internal reports, my late-night drafts I'd emailed Dad for review, had been altered. Someone had deleted the threads. All of them. Then I found it. An email chain. Subject line. Eclipse team transition. Dad to HR. Make sure all project credits and documentation list Ethan as lead. We'll avoid confusion this way. HR replied. Understood, sir. Should we inform Maya? No need. She's used to supporting roles. I couldn't breathe. My chest ached, my vision blurred. Supporting roles. He'd erased me from my own success. I don't remember driving home that night. I remember the sound of rain hammering against the windshield, the taste of salt from tears I didn't realize I was crying. When I reached my apartment, I dropped my bag and slid to the floor, sobbing into my knees. He'd taught me to fight for everything, to earn respect, to never rely on anyone's name. And now, that same man had stolen my recognition to glorify his son. But somewhere beneath the pain, anger flickered. Quiet, steady, growing. If I was going to be erased, I'd make sure the truth was seen by everyone else. Over the next 2 weeks, I gathered proof. Emails, old drafts, chat logs. I built a trail too long to deny. Each document felt like another wound reopened, but also like power reclaiming its shape. Then I sent it to the board, the investors, and the auditors with one subject line: correction, actual project lead documentation. Within hours, chaos erupted. Calls flooded my phone. Messages from colleagues. Maya, did you send that? The board's demanding answers. Ethan's freaking out. By noon, my father called. His voice was thunder. What the hell did you do? I told the truth, I said quietly. You were about to let him take credit for everything. I protected the company, he snapped. You don't understand the optics. Investors want a confident male lead, not. He stopped himself, but the pause said it all. Not a woman, I finished for him. Not your daughter. His silence was confirmation. I could almost hear the decades of bias echoing through that single breath. I did everything you asked, I said. Everything. And you rewarded him because he fits your image of success. You betrayed me, Dad. You made me fight for a place you never intended to give. He exhaled heavily. You're being emotional. This isn't personal. Everything about this is personal. I hung up before my voice could break. The fallout was swift. The board opened an inquiry. Ethan was suspended pending review. Investors questioned my father's ethics. For the first time, the man who'd controlled every room was cornered. And me. I was free, terrified, furious, but free. That night, I got a message from Ethan. You think this makes you a hero? You just ruined Dad's reputation. I stared at it for a long time before replying. He ruined it himself. Then another message arrived, from my father. Just 2 words. We're done. I didn't reply. Because somewhere deep down, I knew that what had ended wasn't just our professional bond. It was our family. The illusion that love had been unconditional, that loyalty was mutual, that merit mattered more than bloodlines. Months passed. I left the company, started my own firm. Small, scrappy, but honest. Clients came slowly at first, then steadily. Word spread about the daughter who built what her father broke. One afternoon, I received an email from an old colleague. They're selling the company. Ethan left. Investors pulled out. Thought you'd want to know. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just stared out the window of my small office at the city skyline, remembering every night I'd stayed late in that cold glass tower, begging for approval that would never come. The betrayal had cost me everything once. My family, my faith, my sense of belonging. But it had also given me something no one could erase. Clarity. Love isn't loyalty when it demands your silence. Family isn't blood when it thrives on betrayal. And maybe I realized power isn't given, it's taken back.